Hello, my name's Charles and welcome to ShopFreeMart's YouTube channel. Today we have an audio broadcast. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, click the subscribe button, and if you wish to be notified of upcoming audio broadcasts or videos, click the bell icon as well. So without further ado, let's listen to today's broadcast.
These calls are about getting your interest and giving you enough information that if you're new, you want to know more or decide to join us. And for all of you, it's to join us to find some products that you want. You also join us to find some products that you might want to share with other people. We also talk about this from the perspective of joining us to share the business opportunity. And there's so many aspects of that. But most of all, we want you to join us and share the love. I want to tell you a little bit about John Austin first. He's the founder of ShopFreeMart. John is a certified nutritionist, health researcher, and author of several books on health and nutrition, and a man of vision. Besides that, he's been an effective business builder, and he has launched ShopFreeMart with a new philosophy in business that is available to everyone. It includes a membership club that is free to join with a profit-sharing plan that sets us apart from all other companies. Why does it set us apart? Because ShopFreeMart shares over 90% of its profits with members who refer new business to ShopFreeMart. You get rewarded when you share the love. ShopFreeMart is an exciting, life-changing opportunity. We have a very simple plan, and we hope that you are as excited as we are about the possibilities. I've been a member of ShopFreeMart for over 2.5 years, and one of the amazing things I have experienced along the way is just when it seems like this is the best thing going, there's an announcement. And in most companies, when there's an announcement, it's not good news. But guess what? There's an announcement, and it's even better news. And wait, there's still more good news. And they let us know something else that's good for us, like a simplified compensation plan, a different type of a bonus, new products that are coming. We've had a lot of them. All of this gives us other reasons to, guess what, go out and share the love. So we're going to focus a little bit here on the problem of dehydration. Well, we have a special guest this morning that I'm going to have come on in a minute here. The problem with dehydration is that it's a key cause of hospitalization, disease, premature aging, and death. I run into people all the time, not just in a hot climate like Florida, but across the country, who've ended up in the hospital because they were dehydrated. And some of our other members have shared the experiences that they've had with trying to help their family members who ended up in the hospital with being dehydrated. So why is it so important to get water into the cell? Well, water carries nutrition into the cell. If the water doesn't get inside, guess what? Neither do the vitamins and minerals. And I'm not just talking supplements here. The vitamins and minerals that are coming from the good, healthy food that you're eating too. That doesn't get in well. Water bathes the interior of the cell, removing byproducts of cell metabolism and other toxic waste. A dehydrated brain becomes forgetful, which often becomes more apparent with age. As cells shrink from dehydration, they shrivel up like a raisin, and that is what causes wrinkling of the skin and shrinking of the bones and muscle tissues with age. Good health, youthful appearance, and good memory all depend upon good hydration. So here's a solution to dehydration. It's treat your filtered or distilled water with hydration drops. A primary benefit of hydration drops is its ability to promote an exceptional level of intercellular hydration. And one of our 2-ounce bottles treats 198 gallons of water. 198 gallons. That's just amazing. With that, our first product, when I had joined here, it was $1.75 to treat 1 gallon of water. $1.75, right? Now it's about 12.5 cents. Just amazing difference. Did they raise the price with a better product? ShopFreeMart? No. They gave us a bigger discount for us to be able to use it all day long. with our pets and our cooking, and if you have tea or coffee or anything else, you can use it all day long. That's the benefits of ShopFreeMart and when we end up with new products. So we want you to consider, and really, not just consider, we want you to try ShopFreeMart Hydration Drops. And then we're sharing the love with you, so then you go out and share the love. I'm going to bring Johann on right now. Johann has an amazing story, and you will hear his story on, again, Freemart landing page 12, but you're going to hear it live in person right now. Go ahead, Johann.
Hey, Richard. Thank you for the opportunity that I can share with my Freemart friends and maybe a couple of new people that's looking into what this product can do for you and what this opportunity can do for you. In 2010, I think it was around about July, I went for my normal checkup. I went to the doctor, and he sat in front of me, looked at my results of my blood work, and looked me in the eye, and he said to me, and here's what his words. He said, "Dude, you've got a problem." And I was sort of shocked because I felt okay, and things were okay, and, I wonder what it was. And he said, your kidney function is that of an 80-year-old, and you're only 50 years old. He said, if you were 75, I wouldn't have been concerned. He said, but you're 50 years old, and there's a real problem. He said, I'm going to get the appointment scheduled with the specialist, and let's see what we can what we can find out. So I went to the specialist. They checked everything out. My kidneys, there was a problem. I think it shrank, and, the size was a little bit smaller. But the filtration system, the GUR, that's a filtration system of your kidneys, and they measure it, and it should be greater than 60 at the age of 50. And mine was well below that. The lowest it went was 39. Over the next 6 years, where I'm going to fill you in the story. So my Meredemy that they gave me, they can do nothing for me. There's nothing they can do for a kidney failure except eventually go into dialysis and kidney transplant, and your lifespan will be shortened dramatically. So it's like it's a big concern for everybody that get that news. So over the next 6 years, I've bought so many nutritional products and research, and it was so bad that my wife called me Dr. Google at one stage, because every product that's new in the market or that I could find out I bought, use it for a while, and if I go for my results, the results were exactly the same or worsen, it didn't work at all. And then it was January of 2017, I got a call from Joy, that is Richard's wife, that's hosting this conference call. And I knew them from previous opportunity. And she suggested to me that I start using the hydration drops and also the Ciaga in a combination and see if that's going to work out for me. I was actually on my way from Atlanta to Florida, and on driving down, she took all my information, signed me up, and 3 days later the product was here because I wanted that ASAP. My next doctor's visit was 5 weeks later. 5 weeks later, I stopped, checked in at the doctor. He looked at my results and he said, I cannot believe this. And he sort of hesitated before he made a statement. He said, your kidneys test normal. And he said, it's either a miracle or an act of God. And he said, there must be something wrong. He said, I want to see you back in 3 months' time, and we have to, just verify if the test was correct. So 3 months later, I walked into his office and, using my hydration drops and the Ciaga, and he looked at my results and he said to me, that was 3 months later, he said to me, I'm taking you out of kidney failure right now. You don't have it anymore. So, folks, what I want to say to you, over the 6 years, I can verify everything, all my tests. We've got all my medical records here. My wife is in the medical field. She's a doctor in pharmacy, and so she was a believer suddenly of the product, and I got out of kidney failure. She's on the product now. The dog's on the product. We even had a bonsai tree that we gave a drop just for fun, And so all I want to say to you folks, what that did for me, it's now 2.5 years later. My kidneys are functioning just as a normal person. The other advantages of the hydration drops, number one, it's maybe the cheapest product that you can buy in the market for your health right now, maybe in the world. And the benefits of it are so great. It keeps you fully hydrated. That's number one. Number two, it brings your pH between 7.2 and 7.4, which, I'm not a scientist, but they say diseases cannot live in that medium. And then also it helped me, and it's helping a lot of men, if it's hard to urinate. At a certain age, they start getting that problem. Man, that opens the floodgates for you as a man. It's just much, much easier. And how I test my hydration is, if your urine is, orange, dark, yellow, you need to hydrate your body. And it should be a light yellow, clear light yellow color, the urine color, and then you're fully hydrated. Since then, we've got a lot of people on the product, myself, my wife, my Mrs. Google is also now on the product. And, not just this product, but, there's so many other products that's actually miracle products. John Austin is really, it looks like he's a miracle man, because everything, like Richard said, what he brings out now, there is so much value in that product that you cannot sort of, it's not snake oil. He's bringing out the real deal. And what I've told you right now is it's fully verified. I can go, with anybody that would question this testimony, I can actually show you that happened. So, Richard, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Okay, a couple of things. Yeah, that was a GFR test that the doctor
GFR,
was following.
Not the GUR, GFR, yeah.
Sorry. With that. Well, the other thing I want you to mention is you were drinking a lot of water before you started on the hydration drops, right?
Yeah, they told me, the specialist said to me, you drink a gallon a day, and that was what I drank, a gallon a day. And
so it wasn't just that you had started drinking more water, you had added this to the water you were drinking.
That's right, Richard. And what I've done now is I had 2-gallon jugs all the time, that I've sort of changed, and I didn't stop short of drinking a gallon a day. And since I've got the hydration drops, I drink maybe now a 3/4 gallon a day. I still drink a lot of water. Sometimes I'll go to a gallon, but even with less water, my body stays fully hydrated.
Yeah, fantastic. What a story with this. And again, like he mentioned, look at the color of your urine, and that sometimes does get distorted by medications that you're taking and stuff like that. But if it's gotten to that dark yellow or orange, you're in serious condition at that point in time, and any doctor, any medical person would tell you you've got to hydrate. But just hydrating with water, and that's what we found out, a lot of times the water goes around the cell, okay? The hydration drops, and when you hear him talk, he'll mention Happy Water because that's what the name of the product was at the time. But the hydration drops lower the surface tension, which allows the water to go into the cell better, taking the vitamins, minerals, and nutrition, but also causing that flushing action within that. And the kidneys are what? They're a filter for the body. So we had also worked with another person who had an issue similar to in the area here, and they had amazing turnaround with their GFR with their kidneys too with that. So Johann, thank you for sharing that. I also want you to share, I think it was a decal boron that you were using too, that you had some amazing help with your arm in that.
Yes, Richard. In that time, I think it's about 6 months after I started drinking the hydration drops, they launched a new product, Decal Boron. And I've had a lot of injuries, and one of my injuries was a rotator cuff. And, it's amazing how many people have, rotator cuffs that's, not functional, that's got tears in, and you see people in slings all the time, and you ask them, they say it's a rotator cuff. But it's not just because of the rotator cuff. The pain was so severe for the last 10, 12 years because my specialist once again told me, the tear is so small, if you have to tear the whole thing open and sew back and hope it will be better. And he said to me, he wouldn't have do that. If it was his arm, he wouldn't have done it. So, needless to say, I never did the operation. And there was many nights that I woke up at night and start, like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock at night. The pain is like a burning, it's like a hot knife that they put into your shoulder. And you have to stand up and move that shoulder for about 5 minutes around and swing it and whatever, and to get that sensation out of the shoulder. And then Decal Boron came on the market, and I started to drink Decal Boron. And I remember I got 3 bottles, and I doubled the dose on the first bottle, and then the second one it was 1.5 dose, and then I just did the normal dosage that they said on the bottle. It was about 2.5 months where my pain level in my shoulder, it was not always that, but at nighttime it went like 8 or 9 or 10. It was you had to stand up and do those sort of exercises to get the blood flow again. Using the Decal Boron for about 3 months, my pain level came down to maybe 1 out of 10. It was just amazing.
Wow.
With all the other benefits it gives you, Richard, maybe you can touch on that as well. But I couldn't believe that the pain just disappeared. It was awesome.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Johann. Really appreciate it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Decal Boron, okay? It has, just as the title that I have put on my sheet here, brain function, arthritis, bones, muscles, hormones, health benefits of boron in general, our product being Decal Boron Concentrate. It's amazing what they have in the common literature out there about the boron deficiency, and that can lead to brittle bones, carpal tunnel syndrome, hormonal imbalance, hypothyroidism, loss of libido, memory loss, muscle pain, osteoporosis, receding gums, degenerative joint disease, and weak cartilage. Other symptoms may include cancer, arthritis, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, juvenile arthritis, spondylitis, gout, lupus, psoriasis, scleroderma, cataracts, pyorrhea, and tooth decay. That's just one of the things on this sheet here, okay, that summarizes that. And if you are into the medical system, they're probably not going to look for boron as a possible root cause. Deficiency is a possible root cause for any of those, okay? And so there's only one country in the world that really has a sufficient amount of boron in the soil, and that's Israel. And their level, I believe our level for arthritis in the U.S. is around 12%, and theirs is just a little bit over 1% or 1.5%. Significant difference with that. So our product, Decal Boron, gives us a way to take it internally and affect all of these different areas within our body, and also to do it topically, because the results that we've seen using this topically, to me, are just absolutely amazing. I mean, they're jaw-dropping to me all the time. I'm going to bring my lovely wife, Joy, on here.
Richard wanted me to share a little bit, too, about Decal Boron and magnesium. For years, I had issues with cramps in my legs. We used to call it Charlie horse. And in my ankles and my feet, I would wake up at night and have to jump out of bed and rub my leg trying to get rid of that. That's long before ShopFreeMart. And so when the magnesium, I'll talk about that first, came along, John was talking about how good that was for cramps. So it helped me a lot. It really helped me a lot. Amazing. And if I would take it before bed, then I usually wouldn't wake up with cramps. But the other thing that I had that really was an issue for me was a pinched nerve in the back of my, kind of at the base of the neck where it connects to the shoulders from an injury back in the mid-70s. And I spent years going to chiropractors and trying to get that corrected. And sometimes I was just in so much pain with that. So the magnesium was helping. But when the decal boron came out and I started using the two together, not just internally, but also topically, I was totally blown away by the results. And it came to the point where, before when I would press next to the backbone that went up into the neck on that spot that got injured, I'd go through the roof. It would just shoot pain. Okay, that boron and mag together topically and internally has totally corrected that issue. And then I have shared this other testimonial probably many times, but for people that have not heard it, I was having a problem with my shoulder, and it would, especially that's the side I lay on at night, and so I'd wake up and that would really be hurting. So one morning when Richard was doing the call, I could not lift my arm over my head. And so sitting on the couch listening to the call, I decided, mag and boron, I got to put that on my shoulder. So I did, and it wasn't, to keep from exaggerating, it was at least 3 minutes, okay? But I think less than that, and I could raise my arm over my head. Richard doing the call, I wanted him to know about it, so I ran through the living room, swinging my arm in a circle all the way up over my head like I was pitching a baseball, and he's looking at me like I lost it, okay? Then he finally got the message, and I was able, I think, actually share that testimony. Okay, so thank you for letting me share, and hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Joy.
Thank you, Joy. We've had amazing stories, like I said, with this, both topically and taking it internally. I'm just going to share the story of when my daughter and son-in-law, I met them down in Orlando, and my daughter had difficulty walking 200 feet out to the lobby where I was, and she said, "Dad, what am I going to do?" And so she had a pain in her heel. They'd given her an insert for her shoe, which cramped her calf, and then her knee was bothering her. So all of those things were going on at that point in time with that. So I had her husband put about 10 drops of pure mag and 10 drops of decal boron on her heel, on her calf, and on her knee. She put her socks on, put her sneaks on, and as we're walking out the door, she said, "Dad, I can feel a difference already." And she walked 6 miles that night, including getting in and out of buses and rides at Disney and everything else. He put another application on her when she got back that night, another application in the morning, and walked another 6 miles the next day. So you can have fun with this, these products. You can try them, that product of decal boron and magnesium. You can try that on a person who's having an issue. But check and make sure they're having an issue, that they feel something in the first place, and then put it on. I was also doing an interview for a radio station. I asked the lady, she said she had a pain. I said, "Well, what pain in particular right now?" She goes, my joints and my thumbs. So I put 3 drops. I only had the decal boron on each of the 2 drops, and she flipped her hand over and rubbed the 2 joints against each other, and put her hands flat out, palms up, and brought her thumbs over and looked at her thumbs and moved them, and she said, "Can I buy a 55-gallon drum of that?" so you just try things. You got nothing to lose. You can tell the person, I'm not sure how this will make it feel at this point, but let's try it, okay? And most people who are in pain will say, sure, go ahead, okay? So we have lots of opportunities out there that just arise at different times for us to be able to share the products, share the love, and to create, bring a person back into homeostasis, we talked that, but to create a life that they can enjoy on a daily basis, having less pain, less discomfort, okay, and also the distinct possibility of not having to get on some very strong, scary medications that are out there these days. So, Elaine, I'm going to turn it back over to you at this point in time.
Fantastic. And, I, by coincidence, just got through speaking to someone. I texted them and asked them to make sure they get on the call. That we had just talked about the combination of magnesium and the boron for aiding in that pain that comes. And I know that I have seen it work immediately. Well, even the magnesium alone, I've seen it work immediately. So it just depends on your body and your system in terms of what it needs. So we thank you for that.